Good morning. It is 10:47 a.m. on Saturday, July 6th, 2019. I'm Christiana Ellis and I just got up. This is 5 more minutes. So, yesterday, after getting a lot of work done, I got almost everything done that I needed to do. That was the reason that I was working on the 4th and the 5th. Almost there. So I got a lot done and just have a little bit left to do. And there's theoretically plenty of time to do it, but it's just a matter of when I make myself do it. But that was good. So I got all that done, and then I actually, after working all day on what theoretically should have been a day off, I left the house to go exercise. I actually went out to the gym, and I'm just proud of myself. When I say left the house, I just mean like as opposed to the idea of like, it's one thing when I'm already out and I just stop by the gym on my way home, but to leave home and go out, I'm proud of myself. So I did that, worked out on the elliptical machine. One thing that's interesting about exercise that I feel like I don't hear people talk about very much is that it always makes me feel much more aware of my own physicality. And I mean that in a positive way, because I don't just mean like self-conscious about my body, although that would be another way to phrase it, that the connotation is different. For whatever reason, well, I don't know, for whatever reason, I think the reasons are self-evident, but after working out, I always find myself sort of much more conscious and aware of just like what position my body is in, how my muscles feel, and it makes me feel like a much more physical being. Not that I ever forget that completely or anything, but it's the difference between what we mean when we say living in your own head, when your awareness is primarily occupied on thoughts and feelings of the mental variety and not thinking very much about your body. And it just makes me sort of more aware of my body in a way that I generally experience as positive. And I don't even just mean soreness, although that, certainly being aware of the soreness would be an aspect of what I'm talking about. And it's just kind of an interesting thing that feels positive to me. And I feel like I just don't hear people talk about that very much. Anyway, I don't know. What I also did last night is watch Alien 3, or Alien Cubed, if you go by the little font indication there, which I had only ever seen once, and it was years and years ago. And so I really remembered very little about it. Mostly, I think the only thing I remembered about it was the vague irritation that Newt and Hicks and Bishop get killed off screen right at the beginning. And I remember that because I've seen aliens far more frequently, and it's a little bit of a bummer to watch that, remembering what happens to them. But, at the same time, obviously, when you're continuing a series like that, if David Fincher is feeling like, well, I honestly don't really want to have to deal with those characters, so let's just not. That's, hey, that's fair, even though it's a little bit disappointing. But overall, I feel like it's okay. Now, so I guess I watched the expanded version, so I can't really directly compare it to the older version because I don't really remember it. But I guess it's 30 minutes longer, which, one second, use these. Excuse me. Which actually may have had something to do with the fact that it felt long to me. But I felt like it was pretty good. It has a good cast in it. It's got some scary stuff. There's a few places where the effects are just like, ugh. Early computer effects. Ugh. Oh, that blue screen is not as good as we make them now. Ugh. It's fine, though. I mean, like, you have to remember when the movie was made. So it's like, yeah, okay. But by and large, I found it pretty enjoyable. I think maybe because I was tired, the the sort of the big sequence towards the end where they're all running around through the tunnels trying to lead the alien into a trap kind of felt like it went on and on forever. But by and large, I enjoyed it, and I think that for whatever reason, I think a lot of people have it in their head that that movie is not good. But I would encourage them to maybe give it a rewatch because I enjoyed myself. So the plan today is I'm going to go out and see Spider-Man Far From Home, and then also maybe Toy Story 4 if the timing works out. I'll see. But in the meantime, I'm going to talk to you all tomorrow for 5 more minutes, and it will, of course, be Sunday, so my rewatch of Gravity Falls will continue with a big mid-season finale of Season 2. And in the meantime, that's it. Bye now.